live. Okay, we are live. We are live. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. GM, guys.
Yeah, GM, guys. Let me see. Let me post the link. So for those joining, please feel free to like, share, and invite anyone you want to invite to the platform.
Man, Sora hasn't still posted anything in more
Yeah,
than
I noticed.
2 weeks.
Yeah, the Sora that I bought 2 days ago is down almost 40%, right? No, it's not to 40. It's down about 20 something percent, maybe 25%. Because I got it at 270 something K market cap. This morning is at 210 K market cap, so it's down like 30%. But yeah, I'm still holding it because I got into that position knowing that it was a gamble, which is something we said here. And that position is not based on any technical analysis. The position is strictly based on fundamentals, which is we depending on them to make a post. Yeah. So what do you think about the BTC price action so far? And before I share my screen.
Yeah, it's been looking good. I think we saw Bitcoin above 95K, or currently still above 95K. I haven't checked this morning. Yeah, around 94.8. So it's a good price action. If we maintain trajectory above this, we could see much more life coming to the market. So it's exciting to see, right? It's exciting to see. So let's see if we would, because this is what we wanted for Bitcoin to break above this resistance and stay above it. That would really be something fantastic. So the price action is really, really good.
Yeah, I totally agree. Price action has been very good. For those watching, please take some time to share the link. Share the link. Take some time to share the link. Post, invite anyone you want to. If you know that you've been gaining value from what we have been doing, least you can do is to at least also share the link for some other persons to join and equally benefit from what it is that we have been doing. And if you haven't been gaining value, then let us know some of the stuff you would like to see. You get some other interesting stuff you would also like us to do relating to the crypto markets, basically trading. You get trading, investment around that area, basically. Yeah. So let's look at the market outlook. So let me switch it to daily. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so for anyone that has been following us on this platform since we started this November, if you've been following us and your portfolio hasn't seen any positive move, then sincerely there's something wrong with you, or you haven't been taking actions. It's one of two things: either there's something wrong with you, or you have not been taking actions. Now, why I'm saying this is because December, we did over 2,000 APR. I said I was going to drop that, the spreadsheet that was calculating it, maybe plus some of the trades so that you can see them there too. We did over 2,000. To be specific, it was slightly above 3,000, but on average, let me just say 2,000. That's over 20x you get in returns. Also, if you factor in the fact that most persons won't take all the trades, worst case at least, each person is supposed to do, if it's too bad, 200% worst case, even if you didn't take all the trades because you didn't get it on time. But tracking the calls we dropped December on our TG and on the live stream, we did minimum of 2,000%. Now, January, we've started. You can be calculating what we are doing this January. You can start checking it since 1st of January. already, if you check, you see that we have already done well above 700% this January already. We have already done well above that. Check from 1st of January, the calls we've been dropping. In fact, the week before last, that's the first week of January, because this week is like the third week of January, if I'm not mistaken. Since January started on Thursday. So this week is technically the third week. Last week was like the only week that, since last week was more of a bearish week, it was a red candle. It was the only week that we didn't do much returns last week, because we're being very conservative. We're not taking too much long positions. We just held on to a few that got back to our entry, and we re-entered some that we got into around first. Yeah, so now we are on the third week of January, and we've said that this week we're expecting it to be a green week, which is something we've been saying since last week, that this week is expected to be a green week. And if you've been listening to this platform since last year, December, there's something that you would recall that we always made very clear, which is we expect January to be a bullish month. Like we started saying since December, we expect January to be a bullish month. And we gave you guys reasons why. It's not just based on wishful thinking. Which one of it was, we've had 3 straight red months, which December would most likely close as a red month, but it won't create a lower low, which it did close as a red month. And I'd said it then that in the crypto market, it's very rare to see beyond 3 red candles monthly. It's rare to see 3 straight red candles, and the 4th one is not a green candle. So let me repeat. You can see 3 red candles, but the 4th one, in most cases, it's usually a green candle. That's one of the things we said. Then the second reason we gave was January makes it 1 year in office since Donald Trump got in, and he loves to brag and all of those stuff. So it just doesn't make sense that in that month that most likely he will be giving a speech of 1 year in office, and the market will still be as bad as it was in November, December. You get, it's the chances of that happening is less than 2%. Yeah, then the third one was Bitcoin had corrected, had done a very, very reasonable correction, over 30% correction, which if you look at Bitcoin historical data, whenever we have that huge pump and we do about 30% correction, it happened in 2021 bull run, we tend to see a pump afterwards. So basically, we gave you guys lots of reasons in the month of December why we expect January to be bullish. So these are like some of the things you benefit when you tune in and you join this live stream we do, and also when you join the community. These are like some of the things you benefit. Now, if these things bring value to you or not, that's generally up to you. If you take action, we can't force you to take action. We can't force you to buy. We can only point you towards the direction, show you what is happening, show you the opportunities. It's now left for you to filter what you want to buy and what you don't want to buy. It's all up to you. You get, so I feel it's very, very, very important you understand these things and you maximize these opportunities. Right now, we're doing free calls on TG. I don't know how long that will last. We might do it all through this year. We might do it till next year. 100% possible, sincerely, 100% possible. At the same time, we might still stop doing it after 6 months or thereabout. It's very, very possible. About 5-6 months ago, we did a free training on futures trading. Yet now we are dropping back-to-back calls almost every 2 to 3 days on the Telegram. Yeah, so the least you can do is take advantage of these opportunities. Position yourself, take advantage, share these opportunities to some other persons that needs this to like start building their account or recovering from some losses or trying to learn 1 or 2 things. Leverage on this platform to ask your questions. This is different from Twitter Spaces where you can't really show anybody anything on the screen. The advantage is we can share the screen and show you guys some things real time. So leverage on that and make the most of it and share the information. So don't gatekeep. Share it to other persons too so they can benefit from it. Yeah, so jumping into what's happening in the market. So if we look at on the daily, Dash has moved 30%. No surprise. We looked at this yesterday. Told you guys the FDV is very low, and you guys knew it's around about $120. We used it to make money in the month of October. I think September, October, where we got in at around 30 something, almost $40, and we exited slightly around 120. So we've made money from it, and right now it's above 60, 63, $64. Asta, we are on some of these projects here as long. We're on some of them as long. We'll look at those ones when we switch to the chart. Now, there's one thing we've been stressing, which we still stressed yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, BTC was around 92K. I still said it clearly that most of these odds were still down bad. And I was expecting BTC to break above 94K. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. I said it that I'm leaning towards this week being very bullish. We going above that 94K this week. But above 100K, I can't see if that will happen this week. Yet I can't say about that. But I'm expecting it to go as high as 105 this month. Yeah, but 94K, we should smash that this week. We smashed it yesterday. We made it very clear when we're looking at chart analysis that once we smash that 94K, most altcoins react fast, and they might not give you time to start rushing to long. So take your positions there, set your stop loss for coins you want to jump into. We shared some, take advantage, so that once the market starts moving, you would have a perfect entry. You would have gotten in already at a very, very good entry, and you won't begin to FOMO. So congratulations to those that took advantage of that. You're actually in profit. Now, looking at the monthly outlook before we switch to charts, you find that in the last 30 days, that's from 14th of December to date, if you started jumping into the market in the month of December, and profits, which as at then we had already started telling people this year, so you can see you're in profits in IP protocol, you're already up over 100, Dash 50, Pepe 50. Overall, you're in profits, but still, most assets are still on the discount. When you look at the prices they were at last year, most assets are still on the discount. So that tells you that the market still has a huge upside. Yet it still has a huge upside, but that doesn't mean there won't be corrections along the way. And that doesn't mean it will pump all through the year. It might just pump this month, next month, and after which you might see another phase of 2-3 months and red candles again. Very possible. Yeah, so let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart and some of the trades that we took. Let's just look at the chart basically. Okay, so we took this Zcash trade yesterday. For those that are online, we took this Zcash trade yesterday. Let me switch this to 4 hours, or rather 2 hours. So we took this trade was shared live yesterday. It was shared live, and I said something. I said the perfect place to get into this trade was at this level. That was a perfect place to get in. But when we're looking at it, it was already somewhere here. But now, if you noticed, it went back and still tapped into that level and it continued. But yeah, we took this trade yesterday. So far, so good. It's moving well. It's done above 1-to-1. I feel like this trade has taken me out because I set them a trailing stop loss. Immediately, it went above this level. Immediately, it went above this morning. Immediately, it went above this level. I had to set trailing stop loss. So I have a feeling it has taken me out because the value I put in 409, that means it has taken me out. If I go and check, it has taken me out. And if you check where it took me out, that is almost 1-to-1, but it's not up to 1-to-1. Yeah, well, that's actually taken me out. So once I get back, I can still choose to maybe get back in again. But however, we took that trade. For those that haven't set trading stop loss, you should still be in the trade. We also took this hype trade yesterday. We took it yesterday. This was the first time we took it. 1st of January, we took it and we exited somewhere around here. Took it again yesterday, and you can see how well it is moving. Currently, it's got to 1-to-1 this morning. and it's just still moving. So we're on that hype trade. Which other trade? We took this Asta trade. Asta trade has been amazing, really, really amazing. Hit full TP. Took this Asta trade, so we shared it yesterday. That's hit full TP already. Congratulations to everyone. It's on full TP. So we expect other DEX tokens to start moving. Yeah, so I think this is the first trade that's hitting full TP. I didn't even know that it has hit full TP because I just took it, and last I checked this morning, it was moving really well. I think it was at 74.5 or 0.745 cents. But it has hit full TP. Which other? I was hoping to get a position on buy, but we didn't check the chart, so we missed that. Cake too, but we didn't check the chart before it moved. Which other position? We have Metis. Yeah, Metis hasn't really moved, but it has started moving. We're on this Metis trade too. We took this trade too. 1st of January, we exited. Yet now we got back in again. So this Metis trade so far so good. It's doing well. It's doing well. Still expecting it to like fire out the way down. This Metis has not moved. I also said it that you can extend this TP to 7.5 or thereabouts because I'm expecting this Metis to take off. See the way Ethereum took off today. We'll look at the Ethereum chart shortly. Dash, we didn't get back into Dash, so we missed. We missed because we exited Dash. We took Dash first time, second time we exited, and we couldn't get back in on time. So if you notice how aggressive Dash ran, like it ran like crazy, which is what I was anticipating here and here, but it just didn't happen. And before we could get back in, it had already moved. Apex, we're still in Apex trade. Apex has not really moved. We're still in this Apex trade. It hasn't really moved. We're still on this trade. This is almost a 1 to 6. We're still holding it very well, and I really expect this to take off. We're still on Uniswap trade. Still on the Uni trade. Still on it. So this Uniswap too hasn't really moved. Like it has not really moved, but we're actually still on this Uniswap trade. We're actually still on it, the Uniswap trade. So you might want to like pay attention to it. Which other trade are we still on? BNB, we didn't get back in. The previous one hit full TP. And this is where I'm hoping to get a re-entry, but we're yet to get that. Which other trade? Just briefly, let me check. Litecoin, yeah, we're on Litecoin trade. It was shared yesterday. Yeah, we're also on Litecoin trade. When I showed you guys the line, and like it's bouncing and all. So we're on this Litecoin trade too. So far, so good. It's really performing really well. I told you guys the little that will make this to fail is if BTC dumps. Like if BTC were to dump yesterday from 92K to about 87 or thereabouts, that's what would have only made this trade to fail. Aggressively, by the way, not a slow dump. That's what would have invalidated this LTC trade. But yeah, we're on this LTC trade. It's doing very, very well. Each other trades, AVAX, we're on this one for a while. For those that did not exit, I exited. I didn't get back in. I forgot to get back in. We entered 2nd January. We exited. I didn't get back in though. I forgot. You can't catch everything on happening in the market, and you have to make peace with that. Focus on a few trades. We were hoping to find a position on red, but we didn't check the chart. Now red is, I'm holding spot positions on red. Red is really, really great. Like trading red, it's very, very good. It's something that should easily run to like 60 cents, 70 cents. If you recall, around September or August, September, we made some crazy gains from red when it ran to almost $1. After we dropped the call, it ran to almost $1. And via spots and features, it was very, very profitable. Is there any other trade that I'm missing out that I haven't called that we're on? I don't think so. I think I've covered the different trades that we're currently on. Yeah, so Spetsna, what do you think so far that's happening in the market before we look at Bitcoin price action? to do a bit of an analysis. What do you think is happening?
Well, the market is progressing fine, right? We just need some of the odds to come to par with what's happening. That's just it. If we get our normal mid cap and low cap coins, because if you check generally what's happening, the prices that we saw sometime in December, maybe first week or last week of November, for most odds, we've not actually gotten to those prices. So that is the pump that I'm actually expecting. That pump that takes most of those low cap or mid cap coins to those prices, right? Then after then, we now start, maybe making profit from our December or November position. So that's what I'm really, really looking at. When with Bitcoin above the current price it is, that would be a possibility, and that will probably happen this January.
Yeah, I totally agree. Odds are yet to explode. Like most of these prices we're seeing are just low key prices for odds. And that's why I'm really advocating for people to extend their TP. As you see the prices approaching this TP, extend it while you adjust your SL2, because it only takes one huge move in the market for these prices to like snap to higher prices. So I forgot to also mention Gigo. We're also on a Gigo long, and we also took this week. We're on Gigo long, which is also performing really well. Now, like this Gigo now, if you check, it's already above 1 to 1. It's almost at 1 to 1.4. But our full TP is at 1 to 3.8, which this will obviously be extended because Gigo can go as high as $100. And so if you check, if you want to count how many trades that we're actually on, we're on Uni, we're on Apex. For those that haven't jumped in on Apex, it doesn't really move. You can still jump in, by the way. Apex is a 1 to 600, like 1 to 6 rather. Yet we're on Uni trade, we are on Apex trade, we are on LTC trade, we are on Gigo trade. That's like 4 trades already now. We are also on, for those that are still on AVAX, or I'm not counting AVAX, we're also on Zcash trade. That's like 5. And did I skip anyone? We're also on Zcash. We're also on Metis. We're also on Metis trade. That's about 6 trades that we're on. And okay, Asta has hit full TP. So that's 1 out of it. We're also on Hype. That's 7 trades we are on. So we are in a total of 7 trades minimum. You get like 7 trades minimum total. That's what we are currently on. So you can imagine out of so many pairs here, it's just like 7 trades. 7 is not just, by the way. It's actually a huge number. But it's very important to manage your trades. Very, very important. Like what I'm doing after this now, I'm going to add more positions to this Apex. Reason, because of Asta. Asta trade just hit like full TP, and Asta is a DEX. So DEX projects will soon start moving, like DEX tokens also start moving, like they'll really start moving. Once Apex breaks above this 4.2, should go higher easily. Let me see Avantis, if Avantis has moved yet. I don't know if I can track. I know it's on this list. There's the other long that I took, but I didn't post it. I took a long on people. I didn't actually post this one. This one was on Monday. I shared it with a friend, or I didn't post it, and we didn't talk about it here. Let me see if I can see Avantis. Well, I can't find. I need somewhere on this list. I can't find it though. But yeah, Avantis should also move because it's also on the DEX. I needed to see if it has moved yet. Let me just search it out. Okay, let's just look at this random one. So it hasn't really moved too. So if you notice, most DEX tokens have not really moved. But if you check, Avantis has also moved. It has done double bottom here. Most likely it should bump higher. I'll look at the charts afterwards, but this is where it is bouncing off. It's like bouncing off this position. So if somewhere, this particular chart EZT one added to my list though, so I'll still go back to look at the one I'm working with. Well, Aventis is looking good. It's looking good. Asta is most likely leading the charge for DEX tokens. So I'm expecting this to move. All right, so let's take questions. Which are like some projects that you're looking at? Can we know some projects you're looking at them, Special? Just a minute.
Well, there's no new project I'm currently looking at. What I'm basically focusing on the sentiment around Ori, basically. Like, like you already know, there was some news we got, but I'm just looking at Ori itself, and because I have a huge exposure to the token, so I'm following up on the sentiment. I'm also following up on sentiment for Kujira, which is looking better and better, but the price action hasn't actually really improved. Yesterday we saw Chromia pump like 10 to 14%. And we are seeing increased activity on the Chromia side of things. So those are like the core ones I'm keeping tabs on, keeping also tabs on a few tokens on Base, like what's it called, Toshi. Base is for everyone. Those are like tokens that I use in swinging that I'm very, very sure of their patterns. But all in all, what I'm just waiting for is to see that mid cap to low cap pump. Once we get that pump that brings them close to or above their late November or November prices, then for me, I'm good to go, right, with most of these tokens. But if we don't get those pumps, I don't feel there's enough liquidity. I don't feel there's enough would I use the word vibe or attention to the markets, right? Because to me, if we get those tokens above their previous prices, then there's enough liquidity, there's enough attention in the market. But if it doesn't happen, then I don't think that much. So that's where I'm truly leaning currently. Your mic is actually muted, so we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so I was saying before I give my own 2 cents on what you're saying, I just had to zoom out on this Metis. So if you guys recall, sometime December, this Metis trade I was taking. Now, notice something here. There's a resistance here on this, which is why I'm always saying adjust your TP. Adjust your TP once the market starts approaching your full TP. Adjust it, take it higher. Like take this all the way up because Metis can run all the way to 7 points. Yeah, take it higher once it starts approaching this. So if you notice, should Metis go above this zone, which is like 5.8, this is easy. I don't know why Metis is taking so long. This is an easy run for Metis, like very, very easy. Sincerely. Should Metis get to this point and goes above it, if it does a retest, it will easily get to this level, 7.5. And you wouldn't want to not take advantage of that run. Yet you would not want to not take advantage. So for those that are not taking most of these trades, I don't know what your reasons are, but by heart, I know some calls that have spent time around the entry point, Hype, Metis, Uni. Yeah, there are some Gigo that spent time before moving. You should be able to at least leverage on those ones. Some of them took 2 days before they started moving. You should be able to leverage on those coins. Yeah. So about liquidity in the market, I believe that most of these altcoins, they are still facing like a major resistance. There's like a level we need to see them go above. So let me use like this people now, for example. There's a level we need to see most of them go above, and that level was that October level. We need to see most of them go above this level, like in the case of people. Most of these charts, they are all like the same thing. If you go and look at all these coins, the charts are very similar. If you look at what happened in the month of October, most of them, they need to go above that point for us to now be able to like gain confidence and say, okay, the market is about to go towards the upside, not short term, but at least a bit long term. Because overall, most persons holding spot positions, they are in a loss. Yet most persons holding spot positions, they are actually in a loss. Okay, this is Aventis. Most persons, they're actually in a loss. See where Aventis is at. We started telling you guys to get back in when it dropped about 0.022 something. And we told you guys that that's like the listing price on DEXs and exchanges, where it's ran almost 10x when it launched. So it was back to the floor price again. Now you can imagine, see the gap all the way from this price. Like this is almost like 900%. Will these tokens do 900% this month, next month? Sincerely, I doubt. I feel the highest they can do is maybe 300%. Talking about spot prices now, 200, 300%. I feel that's the highest that most of them can do before Bitcoin starts forcing them down again. Personally, that's what I think. But there might be a handful of projects that would be able to make higher prices from what they did September, October. For example, like Dash. Dash might be able to go above this price. Might be able to get might be able to actually get above this 150 that it got. If it keeps up this momentum, it can be able to do that. These are like one of the very few projects. LTC can be able to, yeah, LTC can be able to like go above this 135, 135, 136 that it got to around still October. LTC was about to break out. Like it was, if you zoom out, it was about to break out like the levels of $200 before we had this huge dump that October that messed the whole market up. You can see the candle, very huge, messed up the whole market. Yet, so most of these projects, we need to see like a huge pump to be able to like have them at very solid support and maintain like an upward trajectory. We would need to see something like that. So checking for questions. Let's look at questions. So someone is asking, let's just take one question before we look at general crypto market cap and trending projects. So someone is asking, what's your take on the Ori markets now? The Ori market cap. Yes, Festa, what do you think about that? What's your take on that?
For me, all right, all right, all right. I don't know yet because you made a statement that this whole quant terminal thing is like becoming the new trend, right? I also noticed
Yeah.
a company or a DApp this morning called Genius. It's also a quant trading terminal that is backed by CZ, that's YZ Lab, and they are currently running a points program for airdrop, right? So basically, if you look at it, this whole quant thing is just more like a DEX aggregator, just like Jupiter. But then in it, you can trade, right, with the help of maybe AI. Get better trades, get maybe farm tokens and all that. Just all your trading in one, right? So it's more like, for me, it's surprising. We have normal centralized exchanges. Now we have decentralized exchanges. Now we are having like trading terminals. So one would ask, what is the real difference between trading terminals and decentralized exchanges? Basically, it's just giving you much more trading flexibility, more like you're trading in a centralized exchange, right? Or in a centralized exchange. But in this case, if you're trading like in Ori Quant or maybe Genius Quant or whatever, it's basically aggregating your trades, giving you the best trading routes, giving you ability to set up, to have multiple setups that you would not have on a normal DEX much maybe farming opportunities for you to farm more points, trading new tokens on new decks or on new dexes. So for me, Ori has to really succeed in this quant thing, right? It really has to succeed in this quant thing. I don't, it's just, I have a lot of money because me buying Max and Max shutting down is costing me a lot. Like it's really costing me a lot. I didn't even phantom. I didn't really foresee. Okay, so that's why I said I'm keeping an eye on the Ori ecosystem, and they are really pushing the quant thing, right? They're making tweets about it. Trading volumes, fees that they've made, and all that good stuff. But something really needs to happen for its price to increase. So that was why I still keep making that statement of we need the market to pump such a way that these tokens go back to the price they were in November. That way, it signifies okay strength. It signifies volume is flowing, interest is entering because people that left then has to come back, or new people have to replace them for you to see strength, for you to see that okay price is taking shape. So yeah, that's my two piece on Ori. I'm really hoping that something fantastic happens to Ori. Sustaining stuff happens to Ori.
All right, all right. I agree. I agree. So there are still some other questions that are coming in. Please drop your questions. We'll take them briefly. So about the quant, what I would say about it is the quant stuff that Aura is doing is good. We're yet to get figures of fees they made, like profits, because for a project to be successful, if there's one proven pathway in this crypto space, for a project to be successful and for its token to be able to hold up its value and appreciate over the years, there must be a clearly defined means of them generating revenue and also profits. Very, very important. Like it should be very clearly stated. Like the average person should be able to tell that this is how these guys make their money. And the numbers should, at least to an extent, add up. So the Ori gradually we're beginning to see good volume, over 60 million. The major difference between Ori Quant and, or let me call it terminal, Ori terminal, although there's the Quant terminal, and some other terminals were seen there, which I've seen some other new ones too. There's one that just listed Apex. Yeah, there's one that recently listed Apex. I think Apex tweeted about it. If we're trying to check like the major difference between Ori and those others, the major thing is Ori tells you that the performance of theirs is backed by AI leveraging on thesis to make some buy and sell decisions to get on your behalf. That's one of the major difference. For some other quants, they just allow for some other, yeah, for some other terminals, they just allow you to like import your keys, API keys from different supported dexes or centralized exchanges and have like a more robust options to trade on that particular exchange. Yes, options like to optimize and maximize your profitability in trading. Like some dexes don't have trailing stop loss, but if you use some of these terminals, they have the option of trailing stop loss, even for a DEX that does not have trailing stop loss, or for an exchange that does not have trailing stop loss. They give you that power. Yeah, so it's more like they are putting your trading on steroids. Yet giving you more functionality, more features, and giving you more control. And from that single interface, you can manage multiple trading accounts on different platforms without having to jump from one platform to another from that single one. So these are some other stuff and some things that these trading terminals help to do. But gradually it's becoming a new trend. I won't lie. Gradually it's becoming a new trend. If it catches up well, then Ori might benefit a whole lot from it. But right now, the price of Ori is extremely low, and this is the longest Ori has stayed below $1. Can it bounce above $2, $3 again? Yeah, I strongly believe it can't. When would that happen? I can't really tell. The best thing the team can do right now is to show support by buying back some tokens I guarantee you that if the team announces that they just bought at least $200,000 worth of Ori, you see like huge buys coming back, and price of Ori will easily stabilize above $2, like very easily. To very easily stabilize above $2. Yeah, so looking at some other stuffs, we'll still take other questions. So top gainers, Bera Chain. It's been long I saw Bera Chain pump. Axie Infinity. I was shocked to even see Axie Infinity pump. IP, I don't know why Story has been pumping, but yeah, it's among the top gainers for the past 1 week now. And 4 meme has actually been moving. River, River has gotten to $25. Dimension, still good. It tends to pump unexpectedly. It does tend to pump. So let's look at generally all coins, the market to see really on average. It's more of meme coins. Kabusu. I thought this meme was dead. Yeah, but it's more of meme coins. If you notice, you can see it here. Like everything we're seeing here, it's more of meme coins. Which brings me to Penju. I've not checked Penju chat. Maybe I'll check it after this because we're running out of time. Yeah, so just to look at the chat one last time to talk about altcoins performance and possible expectation. Then we take questions and we call it a day. So on my screen here we have the Ethereum chart. I didn't take advantage of this. But yeah, we have the Ethereum chart. We saw a huge rally from Ethereum yesterday. Yesterday morning, Ethereum was around $3,090. Now look at the huge pump. Now, why I want us to look at the Ethereum chart is whenever Ethereum is pumping and Ethereum is looking really strong, it's actually a good thing for the altcoins. Like it's really, really good. It means that altcoins will soon pump even harder. Ethereum now is facing a resistance, which is the highest we've seen it since the month of December. It's facing that December price right now. And you give it up to Ethereum, it's doing well to recover its price, like very, very well. Ethereum should be able to go above this, bounce here, and clears this also. That would be very, very good for altcoins. Like to be amazing, to be really, really amazing. Most altcoins will be able to follow that same path and do like some reasonable pump. So you can keep your eyes on Ethereum just as an indicator on what to expect from altcoins generally. You can keep your eyes on them, Ethereum. So let's take some questions before we call it a day. So someone is asking, do you have any video on how to set trailing stop loss? No, but you can just Google, you can just check YouTube. There are videos on how to set trailing stop loss. Apart from Apex, can we still go into Asta? Okay, I don't know if you've been following what we've been seeing. Asta has hit full TP. Asta has actually hit full TP. So I don't understand why you're thinking of going into Asta because it's already at full TP. So that's not an option anymore. You can see it here. Asta has hit full TP. As at yesterday, it was just barely at this price. As at yesterday, live, it was barely here. Still at entry. As at yesterday, it was still at no, sorry. As at yesterday, yeah, it was just almost at the entry. As at yesterday. So today you can see Asta has hit full TP. So that's not an option jumping into Asta. Someone said I came late. What trade? Okay, you can just run through like just watch the first 15 minutes, or you can watch from like 9 minutes to like 20 minutes. I think I spoke about that. What do you think about BCH? Can we still enter Gigo? No, you can't enter Gigo again. It has already moved. It's above 1 to 1 already. Can you still enter Metis? No, you can't. It has already passed 1 to 1. So you can't really get into Metis. All those stuffs they have moved. Like they have moved. The only one that hasn't really moved is Apex, which you can see it clearly. It hasn't really moved. I think Uniswap too. Okay, Uniswap has actually moved. But these other ones you're actually mentioning, Gigo it's a long way from entry. Metis also too is a long way from entry. So you can't begin to, unless you just want to gamble. At that point now, it's gambling. And this was what I said yesterday. I emphasized on this yesterday. Get into those trades now, not when they have started moving and you now start saying, can you get in or not? That's gambling. Like it's literally gambling. You can see Metis is doing a very healthy pump, like very, very healthy. Move correct, move correct, move correct. Very healthy until it breaks out of probably above this price, then it pumps. Yeah, so last questions. Please advise on buying more color at current. Yeah, I said I was buying more color, but not more CHR. I actually said that. Udonfi, I haven't checked Udonfi in a while, and I have some funds there that I actually did lend to them. But I haven't checked it in a while. It's personal. Have you checked Udonfi recently?
For me, I haven't bought Udonfa. I don't think Udonfa is trading anyway. But what I did was I went to remove my money from Udonfa because I learned Udonfa to farm their token. But I think I learned that the farming has been suspended. So because there wasn't much activities, I just want to remove my money so that what happened to raking will not happen to my money. That one day I'll just come and they will say Udonfi subscription is no longer live, so Udonfi is offline. So I went to pull my money. It was a CHR. I went to pull my CHR and then let me just sit on the sideline. So what I'm basically doing for the Chromia ecosystem is sitting on the sideline. I'm not interacting much with Nomisma, Sloppy, uh, even XOOB. I am just reading their news, seeing the level of engagement, seeing what they are doing, basically just keeping to tabs, right? But I'm not actively engaging in it because I feel even if Nomisma launches a token today, and does an airdrop, their airdrop will not be better than color pools. So you will still have the chance to buy whatever you want to buy at a cheap price, right? So, like you said, the only interest for me is should I buy more color? But from my experience, I already have a good exposure to color. But from my experience, there is no need for me to still be pushing more money into color if CHRO has not even done well itself. So it's more like just be contented with the small you have. Let's see if things improves. It will be fine if at this point, let's say CHRO does, sorry, color does 3x, and then you buy color, and your mind is strong that color is going to still pump further because there's much more development, much more activity on Chromia's chain. That's fine. Rather than you buying color now and still remain uncertain that anything good will happen to color. The only exception to that is if you're 100% sure that color has bottomed, right?
Yeah.
And you can say put in say maybe $200 or more, knowing that you're okay losing 30%. That in the moment you lose 30% of this money at color's current price, you're going to pull out the remaining money, then that's fine, right? So you already have a hard cap because color now being in the 100K range is really, really low, right? So it's more of, okay, do you agree it has bottomed? If that's a yes, then you buying and setting a 30% cap on it, on your loss, then that's okay. Knowing that it's not when you hit that 30% and then you be like, hey, we'll see go further than this because it can, right? So that's just it for me concerning Chromium. Basically, I'm just reading their news, following their development, but not having my money tied in maybe Udonfi or maybe any of the the apps because the apps can easily shut down. We saw that with Raking, and I lost money on Raking because I had some OG dogs that were worth something in CHR because OG dogs had liquidity. I left it. When I went back, the Raking had shut down, right? I also was interacting with that Raking phone. I nearly lost money too on
Yeah.
that Raking phone. I had to pull out my money before. I think a few days or a few weeks later, they said Raking subscription has ended. So I was lucky on that part. So I don't want the same thing to happen with Udonfi. So yeah, so that's why I put my money from him.
All right, all right. That's actually a good move. Yeah, least I forget. And if you notice, Dash has done almost 100% from where it started running from early yesterday. So don't forget, pay attention to solid projects. Very, very important. Pay attention to solid projects. If you're looking for some spot buys that can still do some insane run, I want to recommend Uni. Sincerely, I would recommend Uni. If you're looking for some spot buys that can do insane run. By the way, this our Uni trade is a very conservative trade because the stop loss is very far away, like very, very conservative. So I would recommend Uni if you want to spot buy because Uni hasn't really moved. It's a long way from the actual true valuation. So I'm expecting Uni to pump real good. So you can bet your money on that. As long as you have a reasonable stop loss, you can bet your money on that. But via sports, you have little to worry about. If you're buying it via sports, you have very little to worry about. Okay, so let's look at the other question. Don't find DApp is a very solid DApp. Yeah, I still have my funds there actually. Though I put little funds to farm the token. I've not still pulled my funds. My funds I haven't pulled them yet. So I'm still I'm still on the platform. I don't know if it's even still farming because I checked it over maybe a month plus ago. Last time I checked should be November. So Spesta, this question is for you. Are you still participating on Misma airdrop?
Well, I just actually explained that in my conversation earlier. No, I'm not because my logic is why should I go through all this? One, the stress is too long. We've been doing tasks for more than 3 months now. That's one. Two, no matter what you do, right? If you still launch that your token in Chromia's current economic sense now, your token will not pop. It will not do better than color, right? Meaning I can still buy that token at it. Look at imagine someone that didn't do all color pools task and then the thing launched. Few months later, he could use $100 or $200 to buy the same amount of token that you have of color. So why go through all those stress of retweeting, doing all those plenty stuffs, and keeping to tabs, right? You can do it if you want to, but for me, it's more like I don't have this time to be doing all these things and keeping tabs and making sure that I do all these tasks. Because in the end, you might not even give me something reasonable. So I better just wait. When things are finally better. The only downside here is, let's say Nomisma has been doing this, their stuff, people are getting points. And when Nomisma finally launches, well, is when Chromia is at the height of its
Mm,
expansion, or things have gotten very good for Chromium. That's a big
yeah,
if. That's like, and there's no guarantee that even then, Nomisma will not be like shit. If we do this airdrop, people are going to gain a whole lot of value. So let's dilute
yeah,
it because greed can see enter them knowing that if we give away this amount of token, this thing will be worth
yeah.
millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, right? So for me, it's easy for it to be for me not to do this whole thing, wait and buy this thing later.
That is for the Nomisma airdrop, yeah. Just wait and buy the token later.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so hope you got your response for the person that was asking about the airdrop. Someone is asking if we are to trade Apex, what should be our TP? Okay, let me just look at that briefly. So I'm actually looking at this long position from Ton. There's a long position I'm looking at for Ton basically. It's a long position for Ton. So I'm looking at the full TP is here at 1.92. It's a 1 to 2.4 trade or 1 to 2.5 trade basically. So if you want to rush in, you can still maybe get in at this price. But if you notice, we now be giving you 1 to 1.5, or rather, I'll wait for it to get back down and maybe just tap into this position before I get into the trade. I prefer it comes down and taps here. Personally, though, my preference, I'll just prefer it comes back and taps here before I might take the trade. So you might actually want to jump in now if you're okay with it. You can jump in. You can still extend your TP all the way here. Or I just kept it here though. You can still choose to extend it all the way. Another thing you can do is you can break your entry amount into two. So let's say you want to get in with $500, for example. You can get in at current price like 200. Then you set the order to get back in here. Get so 200 here. Then maybe the other 300 to get here. So on average, your entry might just be slightly above here. That's another thing you can do. Some persons they break down their orders, some here, some slightly below. Yeah, that's what some persons do. So it's all about managing your trades at the end of the day. It's literally all about how you manage your trades. This was a previous entry that was drawn for turn, but I didn't set the buy order. Now, if you notice, it came back and it actually tapped on it, but I didn't set it, so I missed the trade. I did the analysis, but I didn't set buy order. Yeah, so you have this. You can be on the lookout for this. Person asking for Apex. What's that question again, briefly? If we are to trade Apex, what should be our TP and SL? So the Apex trade is like 1 to 6. This is your entry, unless you want to get in at this price it is at right now. But this is your entry. It's not so fast, so you can still get in here. Your stop loss is at, here's your stop loss. This is it, 0.379. That's your stop loss. Your TP, this is your TP, 0.507. Here's your TP, 0.507. Yeah, so I think that's all we'll be taking for today. Based on time, we have looked at what to expect from BTC price action. We have looked at different trades that we're currently on. We have also been able to drop one fresh trade, which is on Tron. And we have done analysis on overall market sentiment. The worst that BTC will do is more of like a correction back to this zone, just to get some momentum. But rather than correcting, I prefer it to just range. If BTC can reach, today's Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday, Friday, we usually expect some red. If BTC can range the whole of today here and part of tomorrow before we see like a correction towards this point on Friday, that correction can bring some other maybe new projects that we might want to long. It can bring them to our entry. Get, because all projects will not fly at the same time. Some would lead the charge, some will move later. Don't be surprised if you see Uniswap get back to entry. If it doesn't move between now and Friday morning, it might still get back to this entry. So that's why most times there's no need to FOMO. Most times there's no need. Yesterday, you can see how Dash has been pumping. This morning, I think, or yesterday night, it's corrected to 50 something. Now it has continued. This is like a clean 100% for spot trades to get on Dash. So barely 48 hours and Dash has done 100%. It can still continue running because right now I don't see anything stopping it. Is there any resistance? I don't think there's any resistance. Okay, so the next resistance is around this level. So that's where it's aiming for. It's aiming for 70. And if you recall, these things repeat. All these stuffs repeat. How do I mean? Look at the last time Dash did an aggressive pump. October, when we traded it and we made money from it. This was last time Dash did an aggressive pump. Now, if you notice, it's still from this level that it actually did the same pump yesterday, still from around the same level. And it's only right to expect a similar move that it would run to as high as this point. The only place we'll see some resistance is here, which is gradually approaching 80-90 zone. So there'll be some resistance here. We saw some here. There was little resistance around this level. yesterday, which was why it sold off to 50 something. And BTC gave it the momentum. Now, if BTC did not pump, assuming BTC did not break above that 94K, instead it went down, that should have come back to this level, which is why it's important to know what's happening in the chart and what's moving the price. If BTC did not make that move above 94K, that should have inevitably dropped back to this level. There's no denying that, there's no arguing it. Which is why you need to also pay attention to Zcash, because right now Dash is still in the show. Zcash is trying to break out towards the upside. It's trying to break out of this down channel. Yeah, that's why it's struggling. If Zcash breaks out of this down channel, which I feel that will happen probably tomorrow or thereabout. If Zcash breaks out of this down channel, it can go as high as 500, maybe not 530, but 500, which should be 1 to 4. It can go as high as that. So you should also pay attention to the Zcash trade to adjust your TP. It's at 450 currently, the TP. So that you can adjust it to like 500 and maybe higher prices. And because Monero started this whole pump, Dash is really benefiting from it aggressively. It's only normal that the pump will get to Zcash. And we know Zcash was the one that started this whole privacy run in the first place. So be on the lookout for this own Zcash pump. The only thing that will stop this from happening is BTC dump. That's literally the only thing that can stop it from happening. It's BTC dump. But aside that, I don't see what will stop Zcash from taking off all the way to at least this 450 and most likely above. All right, so that's all we're taking for today. Thanks a lot to everyone that joined. We do this every morning. It's supposed to be 20 minutes. Wow, I think today is the longest. We did 1 hour today. Yeah, so see you guys same time tomorrow. Ensure to bring someone, invite someone to join, and try as much as possible to share the link. Thanks, guys, and see you guys tomorrow.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, guys.